Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is your
Take the picture, take the picture, take the picture.
Photo News Fix. This fix is brought to you by Adorama Classroom Connect. If you're a student or a teacher, you might want to listen up as this is designed just for you. Whether you're shooting photos, making videos, or working on audio projects, there's now a way for students and teachers to get exclusive discounts. Simply verify your status once a year through Sheer ID on Adorama's website, and you'll unlock educational pricing across a ton of categories. You'll get 20% off select brands like Sony, Fujifilm, Panasonic, Sigma, and more. And it works both online and at their New York City store. So if you're a student or an educator, head on over to adorama.com/edu-fro to sign up and start saving today. First up, it was an insane week of news stories, so much so that there's going to be 2 fixes to cover all of the news. Now, we started off with Apple and their latest iPhone announcement. There's the iPhone 17, iPhone Air, and the iPhone 17 Pro. Like always, I'm not here to talk about the specs beyond the cameras, so please keep that in mind. The iPhone 17 sports a dual camera design with a 48 megapixel main camera and a 12 megapixel 2-time telephoto lens camera. On the front is a new front-facing camera dubbed Center Stage Camera that's square, like me. Being that it's square, it gives you 4 different composition options and even rotates to capture landscape selfies without having to rotate the phone.
Whoop-de-doo!
With the iPhone Air, there's a single 48 megapixel fusion camera that crops down the center of the frame for a 2-time 12 megapixel image. It also gives you that same 18 megapixel center stage front-facing camera as mentioned a few seconds ago. But the biggest upgrade comes to the iPhone 17 Pro, which gets up to an 8-time optical quality zoom lens. This is the longest iPhone telephoto zoom yet. Don't you love how they say that all the time? This is the best iPhone yet. The iPhone 27000. This is the best one yet. Oh, it's never gonna get any better. Anyway, which is roughly a 200 millimeter focal length equivalent, thanks to a new tetraprism design and 56% larger sensor. Now that right there is where it gets better. The larger the sensor, the more light gathering you get, the better in low light capability you will be able to shoot, but it's still not gonna be a professional camera. There are 3, count them, 3 48 megapixel fusion cameras on the iPhone 17 Pro that give you a 1x, 2x, 4x, and 8-time telephoto zoom capability and a digital zoom up to a whopping 40 times, but it's digital zoom. Anyway, Apple says it's like having 8 Pro lenses in your pocket. That's funny because 8 Pro lenses in my pocket would make me look like this guy. Thanks, AI. Oh, you used AI. Oh, you took away a job of somebody. You are shameless. How dare you use AI?
How dare you?
Once again, at the end of the day, iPhone cameras are gonna do exactly what they're meant to do for the majority of the population. They're gonna get their perfectly good pictures and selfies and food shots and dick pics and other things that they want to get. That's just what it is. We still know that our jobs are safe from iPhones for another year. What do you think about it? Let me know, because I'm sure you Android people have a lot to say about Apple iPhones in the comments. Next up, Nikon announced the ZR. Z standing for Salty, and the R standing for
Red.
Now this is pretty much Nikon's first cinema-first focused camera, and it includes red tech, so basically red color science meets Nikon tech. Though I'm still a little confused about what made red red. Was it the sensor or was it the color science only? Because something tells me it's a little bit of both, but probably a lot to do with the sensor. Nonetheless, we have a full-on preview video shot with the Nikon ZR, which is linked down below. And in this video, we will hit you with the top level specs. The ZR body is similar to that of the Z6 III, but with the EVF chopped off, grip removed, and a massive, beautiful 4-inch vari-angle touchscreen that has been added. It sports the same stacked 24.5 megapixel full-frame sensor with a Speed 7 processor and a dual base ISO of 800 and 6400. It can shoot red RAW internally, has 2 memory card slots, one is CF Express B and the other is micro SD. which is kind of weird. There are no quarter 20s, which means you will more than likely need to add a cage if you want to screw anything into this camera. With that being said, the camera is pretty thin and comes in at 1/3 of a pound lighter than that of the Z6 III. It incorporates a fanless design, kind of like me, and we're told it handles high heat environments extremely well. It does not have an accessory handle for the top, but it finally adds a digital hot shoe. Now, both the digital hot shoe and 3.5mm jack can record 32-bit float audio.
Well, float down here.
With compatible microphones. Take that, Sony and Canon. You can't do that. You could shoot 5.4K up to 30p in 10-bit 422 ProRes HQ, or up to 60p in 10-bit 420. You can also shoot 6K up to 60p RAW video in NRAW, and now Recode RAW, or up to 30p in ProRes RAW. Now, I should also mention it has 7.5 stops of IBIS, which is exactly, if my math is correct, let me check again. Yeah, it's correct. 7.5 stops more than Canon's new C50, which has exactly 0. The biggest news about the ZR is its price. It's priced at $2,200, which was probably originally $1,999 if I had to guess, but you know, tariffs and all. Now, I think this is a solid first offering from Nikon and Red. Do you think they'll have more coming out in the future? And what do you think about the Nikon ZR? Let me know down below. Before we get to the last story, there are now only 10 spots remaining for the last Fronos Photo Bootcamp of 2025 that's taking place on Saturday, October 11th. Now, it doesn't matter if you're young or old, new to photography, or you've had a camera for a while. If you want to go hands-on with me, and I don't mean, you know, fighting hands-on, I'd love to have you here to join the bootcamp. To sign up and lock in your spot, head on over to bit.ly/Fro1011 or click the link down below. And finally, Nikon wasn't the only one to take a shot at Sony, because Canon announced their Cinema EOS C50 cinema camera. And guess what?
Oh shit, what?
We've had it for a while and have a full-on hands-on preview linked down below as well. Just don't click on it just yet. Wait till the end of Fix. This is Canon's latest and smallest Cinema EOS camera to date. It's cinema first, but with a flick of a switch, it's a fully functioning stills powerhouse. Now, in terms of size, it's very similar to that of the R5C, but without the EVF. Yep, there's no EVF, which is par for the course for most cinema-focused cameras, though Sony did everybody a solid and added one to their FX2. Now, since it doesn't have an EVF, you have to rely on the massive, and I mean massive, 3-inch screen. And by massive, if anyone tells you 3 inches is massive, probably lying to you. Now, I shot with an external display connected to it, which made it so much easier for me to see and shoot the video. There's 2 menus, the cinema one and the stills one. If you've never used a cinema menu, it's going to be kind of confusing for a little while. Now, it does take roughly 3 or 4 seconds to go from cinema to photo or photo to cinema, as a heads up. Now, the C50 does come with the top handle included and has quarter 20s all around the body for a cage-free design. You know, like chickens. There's a built-in fan, which I totally can use, 2 card slots, CF Express B and SD, but does not have ND built in or IBIS. Now, not having ND due to the size makes sense, as the C80 has those, but not including IBIS is a Now, that's the outside of the body. We all know it's what's on the inside that counts. The C50 sports an all-new 32-megapixel full-frame sensor with the same processor as the C80, but it is not stacked, it is not BSI, and it is not stabilized, as I already mentioned. But it is all new. Now, the big deal for people who think it's a big deal is it has open gate recording, meaning it records the full 3.2 sensor in 7K, allowing for more post-crop options. You can record 7K 12-bit cinema raw light up to 60p internally, or up to 30p if shooting in open gate. Full-frame DCI 4K is up to 120p in 10-bit 422, but is only oversampled from 7K up to 30p, and 2K up to 1080p for maximum
Super slow mo.
The C50 is priced at $38.99, and that does include the top handle in the box, which isn't bad for all of what you get with this camera. Now, at the end of the day, I really enjoyed shooting video with this camera. It's finally nice to see Canon have something to compete with Sony's FX3 as well as FX2. Now, there's a whole ton of other photo news that happened this week. So much so that it's going to be a second video to talk about the Sigma lenses, the Canon lenses, the Canon point and shoot, the Tamron lens, and a bunch of other stuff that was announced. So until then, that's all I have. Jared Polin, FronosPhoto.com. See ya.